This is Kanokre News. I Kanokre News na and so washia ye. Aha, woni ye di nshia ena anope. Radin Yankopon shira pa. Radin shira papa pase de bia no. Wohwe Kanokre di tuma. Wonya hu ya na wakwa akohwe. Erade enshira me pa cha ya na wa hye enso de ama afoforo. Ayo betimi so de comment nso aba. Yankopon shira pa sa wo be ye ne sa. Now quickly no and then my mefawo enko IDF Israel and Yemen and Tokano. In fact, egusua ekoso den ewo Middle East war. Middle East war eja edemu ewo ho a enya asem ketewa. It looks as if say Israel for air fighting in different fronts enya asem ketewa. Omone Yemen for air ko Hezbollah for Israel for bubu omon play dear. Nenso so ba ku mienu bi wo ho omon so omode omo weapons etoba Israel so ni nyina no ene ye be born is tougher. Now Yemen IDF intercept Houthi missiles triggers Syrian in Jerusalem area. The IDF intercepted a missile launched from Houthi terrorist organization from Yemen early Wednesday morning, triggering Syrian a siren across Jerusalem area. Enti Yemen for egusua omo toto akwede ede eba Israel. Ya akwede bi omo ato IDF Israel Defense Force se omo intercept sa missile no ewo ho. Already no US ya na komo toto akwede ede ko Yemen Houthi so ya in support of the omo ye na ebeboa Israel no omo jai omojai ba Yemen Houthi ni nya akode a omototo ede eba ho. Na in fact IDF boy juma Middle East war said the medical kind and there is a lab containing more than 200 explosive devices, approximately 150 kilograms of materials used in the manufacture of explosive. And no IDF for akohu sa warehouse ya akudie bebre ewom ya is located in the West Bank. And you know, Sabia and one that this our weapon ekoto. And then mind you say Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, according to him, no was so gusua walk and tokwano. Na earthquake so SC earthquake of magnitude 6.3 strike rate Greece. JFZ says felt in central Israel. AC our Greece edie Nenso ehon empopoye no esi ewo Israel eno enso ensema ekoso ene Wednesday ya na sa incident no esi ye. In fact Israel, Hamas, Gaza and Tokwa no ekoso na ayen sem bebrebe ya enya sem ketwa enti eno na President Donald Trump etu kwan edekọ Middle East otu kwa ekọ Middle East na ne akwantu onim no ekamia yese watwa Israel eja watwa Israel eja enkrofo bebre susu se adenti na President Donald Trump wo oyesa. Israeli officials have put a brave face on US President Donald Trump bypassing them on a Middle East trip this week, but his decision to do so is the latest to sow doubt in Israel about where it stands in Washington. A few days after announcing plans for an expanding military operation in Gaza, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said it had been informed by the United States of an agreement to release U.S.-Israeli hostage Eden Alexander after talks between Washington and Hamas that did not include Israel. And also, Sama say Donald Trump ako Middle East war wacha Israel eja. And kofo bebre susu say US for percent ka Israel for eja and tokwana wo mo kun ewo honom no. Ai omaka osan komu jai na Israel for tie US for and tekamia ye say omocha Israel ama saying ena esitie because well, it could be said, na Israel will stand alone. Israel will stand alone na rather than kasaba be konto kwano because over in Samaya koswa enye asem ketwa ewo. Netanyahu must not work for support of US as Trump ties of Israel war in Gaza. Trump Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff didn't mix his word in a meeting late on Sunday, with former hostages and relatives of those still held in Gaza. He told them Israel is drawing out a war the U.S. wants to end. Local media report. And according to Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, what let's say Israel for air conto kwa US 4% anto kwa nanke tuocha. Mi jidi pa se e bia enunti ena Donald Trump eyi na nikakra ede ama Israel for no. Say ena esitie. Na ne Middle East akwantu onim no. In fact, wakoye niama bebrebe aye shocking. Ede ama wiase nyina. Ba akwane say Trump has lifted Syrian sanction. Secure 600 billion US Saudi deal. Syria for na sanction kase pa eda wo mo so ore Syria entokwa ne chese meseme ho ase ye tutu aban ne ade na sanction eda wo mo so sa sanction we US Donald Trump ne visit ya just recently or say oyi sa sanction efi Syria so. President Donald Trump kicked off his trip to the Gulf on Tuesday with a surprise announcement that the U.S. states will lift long-standing sanctions on Syria and a 600 billion U.S. committed from Saudi Arabia to invest in the U.S. The U.S. agreed to sell Saudi Arabia an arms package worth nearly 142 billion U.S. dollars, according to the White House, which called it the largest defense cooperation agreement. And to where your agreement via U.S. President Donald Trump and Saudi for an amount of 142 billion U.S. dollars, a arm package agreement. Yeah, U.S. President Wako Akwakoye. Nefe he end the sanction on Syria would be a huge boost for a country that has been shattered by more than a decade of civil war. And see they're not making civil war name. And some nyamanyama ekoso ewoho and tina Syria fuankasano that the US declared Syria a state of sponsor of terrorism in the year 1979. The year 1979, US for declared Syria as now only a terrorist country. And then there was a sanction in 2004. And so, almost civil war now a breaking out in 2011. No, and also that sanction in just one day, President Donald Trump sanction in. So, what is the reason behind this? And how is it going to help the Middle East? And how is it going to help Israel? And also no, you need the chair, yes, the ebekoso ewo ho. Aha aye kana cry news. Aha kana cry news. Wadaroma se wo baswa na wa share so ede amaye papa pa. In fact, asem we na sanction na ye free Syria so ne ade Endogan na ni age Turkey president Tayyip Endogan na ni age papa because so hwa woni Syria for ankasa. Turkey president Tayyip Endogan met online with US President Donald Trump, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara, stated Old Anadolu news agency reported on Wednesday. And so this is the news that from that side, and they say Donald Trump and Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, so Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Syrian forgery president. I mean kind of forgery president because only go two are buying on Wabetana. So Ahmed al-Shara omo eko ekasai ewo phone so ya HSA Turkey and ya papa say Trump are making that surprise announcement, or taking all this sanction from Syria. Okay, mami fawo every midi is kakra, my phone free midi is kakra. Na me fawo enko. Okay, before that, and patch subscribe. If I'm mami why, me do subscribe for mami. You better say the comment but person do comment ba. It's say jumedi ni me no na AD. I me no na AD. Na Pakistan ni India and Tokano said the Enchebia Becca said President Donald Trump try say or they assume you and I see fire ebekoso ewohono. And some BSC in some be koswa. In fact, if that is the case, dear Nacha say take if one yadi. Turkey and Dogan, Tahib and Dogan. According to reports, Turkey helped Pakistan attack India. Turkey for and a boa Pakistan and a omo attacking India. They sent 350 plus drones and then military operative. And Tahib and Dogan and a Eshen to Kwana say. Na Pakistan eko attacking India. I don't know what he's looking for. Minim die war hankasa. And according to reports, 2 Turkish military operatives were killed as part of Operation Sindor, which reveals that Turkey not only helped Pakistan in its war against India with over 350 drones, but also with operators sourced told India today. According to sources, Turkish advisor helped Pakistani army official coordinate drone attack on India after Operation Sindor. Turkey, Tahib and Dogan. In fact, one yard, and a ceasefire between India and Pakistan appeared to be holding on Sunday, despite accusation of violation by both sides. Explosion rocked several parts of Kashmir hours after the truce was announced on Sunday. And according to residents, we are so happy. Residents of India administered Kashmir says they are relieved and happy that India and Pakistan have reached a ceasefire agreement. And let's hope that ceasefire agreement and the NC. In fact, and tokwa nyina anka menko anka tokwa bia wo wiase bia to atwa na enipa omumoja ehwiegu nipa echuko asamando eniamono so no ni nyina to ebetwa. Embacho mamifa ba akope ento aso na enene yen sorry ade yakopon ya adoma na wasa ehwia ye da foforo. Mamifa nko Russia ene Ukraine entokwa ne mu so Zelensky. In fact, this man, Papa, Zelensky vows to do everything to ensure direct talk with Putin in Turkey. Now peace agreements and mwanya baby are found kwase Turkey and Dogan. Ono otene mema woni wo she obi sukutupa e woni mem. Ono no obeka asumwiasem. Ah well, that is the report aba. And they say Tahib and Dogan, Turkey. Ono nebeye mediator Ediama Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky and then Vladimir Putin, your Russia President. And according to reports, Ukrainian President Zelensky has said he will travel to Turkey's capital Ankara to meet President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and will be available for direct talk with his Russia counterpart Vladimir Putin in Istanbul. We will do everything to ensure that this meeting takes place, he told reporters. And according to Zelensky, your Ukraine president. In fact, Tokano wabre, Kamia say, Kuronukura, a fan, and a wanesa, wabre, ya, Putin, so Amadi, and ceasefire night and then Ediama woman. So I say he is going to do everything possible. Sabaya, Omoni Putin, Ebeshia, war. Turkey capital Ankara. Now Makako Shia, Turkish President Tayyip Recep Erdogan. Na omode asumdue abba. Ayo yan hwese asumdue betumi abba. Na huni se Bible say predodo ye behu se asumdue ye wa asumdue pofiri mu a na osai no ebeba. Se ne dollar sotia na etienti adweye se oh in fact ewiase beye de. They say in Tokano, I think say Obia asumdue ceasefire, asumdue na ebano, enya asumdue ebema ye ho adwoye na asumdue empofiri no Erade Nyankopon betumi aba. Enti se wo ye obia wo follow kanokre pa dia na chese enne no yembo ye ho nka ye se asumdue no already no Bible no aka ho asem dada. Enti no Nyankopon hyira se enne se woje bre na wo hwe kan create news Erade hyira na ko pastor Polije pa se wodi dwumadi ati se na Erade hyira wo so de bia no woje o time ana se wo data na wo de hwe kan create makrao